Hello and welcome, people of the world. I'm so excited to be here. This is the first time live in 2026. And boy, do we have some things in store for us. 2026 is a year that is calling you to bring everything to the forefront, release it. So, number one, if you're here, that means that something in you is ready to release so that you can step into your full sovereignty, your full identity, your full expansion. And to be honest with you, greatness is not something that is small. Greatness requires everything from you. That means that greatness quite literally requires you to go into the depths of every aspect of yourself. And might I add, 2026 is the year of full bloom. That means you've got to plant seeds, and whatever seeds that you plant, I'm telling you now, will grow. We really have to be careful about what we are planting in 2026. Now, my instrument of choice to hold on to my microphone is a pencil, not just for you, but also for me. And it is symbolic of the fact that we are always students of this game of life. When you relish in the fact that you are a student, life can gift you things that actually prime you to learn at the best capacity. It doesn't always have to feel like a hard test that's happening to you and someone is forcing you to get good grades or forcing you to study. No, it is a dance. And you know, when you really enjoy a subject, you actually want to prepare yourself. You want to learn all there is and experience it to the fullness. And you want to go off in your own time and learn more about it. And that's what life is calling you to do. In this moment, I'm inviting you into a quick pause, a quick breath. Something that is infinitely paid for you for as long as you're here to experience it. You wake up and it's something that you don't even have to think about because it innately happens. You sleep, it's happening for you, but honor it because that is what brings you here. It's quite literally what gives you your vitality, and it's something that your creator designed to be running freely. So tap into that power. Tap into the breath and what it actually replenishes you and provides you with, literally the tiny blocks of life that osmose into your being and allow you to expand. So I invite you into this world that we have created over here. Hello, my releasers. And this is really a space to foster community in not just healing, but evolution. There's more to it than that. Healing has a need for speed, it has a need for direction. And once you decide that's what you want, you don't always live there. You actually evolve through it. Now, that aside, hello. And if we haven't met before, my name is Aji. I am a transformational specialist based in regulation and guiding souls to their soulful liberation. So if that's your jam, stick around. Now, you may have heard of regulation a bunch of times, many a times. Maybe it's even sprouted out now and it's like this new terminology that you're hearing all the time. It's not something new. Regulation is actually something that ancient wisdom has always honored. The beautiful thing is that it's sprouting for divine reason. There's so much polarity in the world right now, but you have to remember that where there is one extreme, the pendulum must swing the other side. And so if you're on this side of that polarity, you're in the right place, my friend. You have to become a vessel that neutrality enjoys being in. And so regulation is how you get there. Regulation is the vehicle that allows alignment, cohesion, clarity, calm, and divine download. And so you might be sitting here and saying, Aji, how does this all tie in with the theme of 2026? Well, number one, I think there's so many synchronicities that are aligning beautifully. Like, for example, the Chinese Lunar New Year is on February 17th. And also, the first day of Ramadan is February 17th. Now, I don't know about you, but I know that our Creator is divine by design. And when synchronicity is so beautiful and expansive and community focused like that happen on the same day, there's got to be a divine reason. And so that is up to you. I invite you to use your own wisdom and your own intuition to explore what that might be symbolic of for you. With the grand theme of 2026 being growth, growth doesn't emerge from pressure. Growth actually emerges from readiness. So yes, come to home base, come into healing, make a decision. But readiness requires you to know who you are. In psychology, readiness is described by Carl Jung. Carl Jung describes individuation as a process by which an individual begins to know themselves. It's quite literally the process by which you psychologically separate from the idea of wholeness to craft and sculpt that individual expression. There is an illusion because the idea of individuation is the entire point of being a human. However, in that process, I invite you, friend, to remember that you are still a part of the whole. I want you to imagine a prism, like a crystal prism, and a light beam is going through that prism, which is one source, one creator. And that one source of light pushes through the top of the prism, and as it goes through the top of the prism, it sprouts out into different colors of light. When that happens, and the one source of light goes through the prism block and out into separation and showing different colors of light, that is the process of individuation. That is what we are all going through as individuals in this experience. But when you look at the prism, and you look at the light, it is still one. It just split off to express differently. And so keep that visual at the forefront of your mind, because that is what's going to help us heal this world. The only reason that the light beams even change colors through the body of which it traveled. The body is the prism, and the body is the one bridge that connects you back to original source. And that's what brings me here today. In 2026, you need to understand your color of light and what your divine expression is supposed to ripple out into the collective and create, but you're also meant to remember that you are still a part of the whole. And that means maybe even working on not judging others for how they are expressing their light, even if that polarity is frustrating. Even if that polarity is inviting deeper questions, it's creating friction, is creating suffering. You are still meant to focus on your individuation and become more of a sovereign being that can allow for more benevolent light that will eventually outweigh the polarity that you least prefer. I pray that that transmission shifts something for you. In simple terms, individuation is a process by which you remember who you truly are rather than who you were programmed to be or who your lived experience calcified you into. Now, healing is the vehicle or the vessel by which you uncalcify all the things, and it has a need for speed. As soon as you decide, healing is like, ooh, ding, ding, all aboard the healing train or healing express, okay? And the process of becoming more of who you are is not about self-improvement. It's not about fixing. It's about being. It's about being, and how do you invite all aspects of yourself to the table? To elevate your consciousness, you've got to realize that you have layers of it. In this moment, take a deep breath and just take a pause. In order to know who you are, you need to know who you're being currently. What survival identities are you upholding that no longer are liberating to you? What is actually silently draining you and silently taking your power away from you? Are you overextending? Are you people-pleasing? Are you saying yes when you want to say no? Are you the strong one, the achiever? All these survival archetypes. Learn who you are being so that you can go deeper into the resonance of who you are meant to be. Now, that is the work that I support people in getting through to get to the other side of their liberation. It is a methodology called the R-cubed method to soulful liberation. Because you can sit here all day and do self-development, listen to this podcast, listen to that one, but if there is no action and no tangible support, which I call a container, you're going to sit in the same place. Whether it's with support or without, a container is any type of space curated to bring all parts of the self, all the fear, the expectation, the judgment, the shame into light. How will you release it if it never comes to light? Remember, you're a student. It isn't about getting it right. It isn't about shaming and condemning yourself into being better or watching a million self-improvement videos or getting so motivated and then doing nothing about it because you watch someone light you on fire in a podcast or a YouTube video and then you just do nothing about it. 2026 is calling you to rise. 2026 is asking you, are you ready to receive? But in order to receive, you have to stretch your capacity. Where is your window of tolerance? Are you already outside of your window of tolerance and so therefore you don't even have the capacity to receive? Have you held on to not just unprocessed rage, unprocessed grief? Have you held on to unprocessed joy? Have you had happy emotions that have never been able to see the light? There are so many ways, friend, that you can unravel and become more of who you are, not in the physical, but in your soul blueprint. And I deeply pray that no matter how you get there, that you get there whilst you're in this vessel. Now, I know I say all of that and it sounds amazing. It sounds like, Aji, tell me more. Yes, I want that. Yes, it's like you're speaking to my soul. But the real truth also is that inviting growth and evolution, it doesn't come without pain. It can be a plethora of things. It can be pain, spontaneity, joy, excitement, fear. But I'm going to tell you that pain is a part of it. Are you brave enough to still face it, to ride the coattail and get to the liberation? Because it is worth it. And as we step into greatness, and as we acknowledge that greatness requires everything from you, greatness also requires presence. We talked about the breath, but simply using your awareness to come into the present moment, because you are only ever gifted the now. You are either in two states, primal or thriving. You are either thinking about the past and ruminating or thinking about the future, or when you master the now, you are in neutrality, you are in gratitude, appreciation, alignment. And so which state of living are you in? And don't judge yourself for whichever one. And which one do you want to move into? Because whichever one you hold the deepest intention to embody, and as I said, and you plant it, it will sprout. You will see fruit. There's a famous psychiatrist and Holocaust survivor, Viktor Frankl. He famously says, those who know their why can live to withstand anyhow. That is truly so powerful. Having a meaning gives direction to your suffering and to the suffering of all. When we can remember the why and hold on to it and use coherence and effort, the meaning itself becomes supported. And so really forget about how. You might be sitting there and you ask yourself all these questions like, how am I going to do this? How am I going to do that? When's that going to happen? Who? How? Stop asking the question how and ask yourself what your why is. And start asking yourself why questions that are benevolent to you. For example, let's say that you are a high functioning woman. You are high capacity, high achieving. You've done so much in your life, but there's still levels to where you wish to go. You can ask yourself, why am I so abundant? Why am I so wealthy? Why am I so brilliant? Why am I so able to withstand and alchemize painful situations? And then you will start to hear the answer. So ask yourself why questions. Why am I ready to level up? Why do I want higher things for myself? Ask yourself why-based questions so that you always have the meaning and the how naturally gets answered. Now, really important as you go through this, in whatever capacity you stay engaged in this orbit, just remember that your commitment to your healing, not your speed, not the amount, but your commitment will be the driving force that elevates you to actually actualize it. actualize it. But yeah, truly. And staying in a container, in a space, in an environment that fosters that development, is what's going to set you on fire in the best way, because it's a fire horse year. You can't obtain more without steadying the now. Focus on your heart and focus on your lungs. Those are the two organs that I would specifically tell you to visualize healing. Whew, powerful, powerful. Visualize your heart and your lungs and clear it, clarify. Every time you inhale, picture the breath go into the back of your head and then down your throat into your heart space, and exhale everything that is debris, darkness, trauma, and inhale, fill your lungs with so much light, fill your heart with light, and visualize that. Just start there. That's something so simple that you can do that actually will create some shifts over time. Stay dedicated to it, because remember that you aren't fixing anything. You aren't trying to transcend your humanity. You're trying to bring your spirit, mind, body, emotions out of any distortions, out of any disharmony, and more into compounded, grounded harmony, love, elation, joy, bliss, ease. That is the point. We aren't transcending the human. That defeats the object. We aren't bypassing and running off into the spirit realm. We are integrating everything that God wants us to do in our physical body and going forth to embody that. Turn your regulation into tangible results. And if you don't know how to do that, that is what I help souls achieve. So stick around. I'm sending you so much love. 2026 is blooming. 2026 is your greatness. 2026 will be everything that you need to thrive. So friend, take a look at what's rooting. Are your roots secure? Is your soil nurtured? Is it watered? And remember, blooming is not something that you chase. Blooming is something you observe. So enjoy your observation and remember your intention is everything. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.